It is a veritable oil slick. It's put a nice insulating layer. Hi, I'm Darren, an untrained amateur who's determined to save one of the last of these classic cars. This is Roy, a 45-year-old 2.8 litre Vauxhall Royale coupe. When I owned one 30 years ago, they were rare. Now they're unknown. This is one of the last of its kind, and I'm going to rescue it and relive my youth. Follow the rebuild, watch this legend come back to life. So I'm trying to find this mysterious transmission leak. I can't find it. One thing, this engine ain't leaking any oil. Yeah, I absolutely cannot see where this is leaking. Maybe it only does it when it's hot. We did go for a run yesterday, so I want to see if we've got any mysterious puddles of ATF under the floor, and we do not. We haven't got any puddles of anything. Now that sort of lines up with what I found yesterday. I couldn't find where this ATF leak was coming from. I did find an antifreeze leak. I suppose it's conceivable the antifreeze was raising ATF that was still on the floor, making it look like a puddle, but there's certainly, if it were seriously leaking ATF, we'd have something, and we ain't got anything. So that's good. Okay, so I've just come back to the car after about a week. I've been off doing other things, and it appears that we have got an automatic transmission fluid leak. I suspected as much, but I couldn't find where it was leaking from. This is now quite conclusive. This floor was clean, and there is a lot of ATF on the floor. So hopefully we can get down there and just see why. In the meantime, I did actually do a couple of things which I'm quite impressed with. One is that, which is a seal for the carburettor to the air cleaner. I've 3D printed it out of TPU, which is soft plastic. Look at that, it fits. Oh, it's almost like I measured it. So that should stop it making sucky noises when it's driving. Stop that from rattling around, and actually will have given an air seal underneath it, because it was making sort of really carburettor style sucking noises, which is quite annoying. The other thing I 3D printed out of the same TPU is a bonnet stay, which hopefully it is a veritable oil slick. It's difficult to tell where it's coming from. There's a lot of oil You might be able to see better than I can. It does look like it's there, doesn't it? That's a lot of auto fluid. How is it coming out without me being able to see it drip? It's crazy. See, I don't know whether it's coming from this end and going that way, or it's landing there. There's definitely a puddle there. Let's get my hand in there and see if I can feel anything. Okay, we've got some telltale drips on that under frame there, on that support bracket. Let me get something to lay on, because I'm in my work clothes at the moment. I'm not even in my garage suit. Okay, so we've got drips there. It's rear main seal, definitely. I should have done it while it was out. Hey up, I just had a drip on my head. I'm wondering if it's the sump. Come on, give me another drip. I wonder if that gasket needs tweaking. It's just a little bit moist all around that gasket. I think it is. Let's tweak that gasket. We'll soon see if this is it, because it will leak, or it'll ooze as it tightens. I hope this is it, because this is easily solved. Yeah, they all feel loose. The new gasket has softened. That's what it is. Yeah, so much for the torque settings. Yeah, that squeezed the drip out of there. Okay, what we'll do, we'll put the drain pan under it. So fill it back up again. And put the drain pan on it, under it, just to make sure. Well, I'm hoping that's it. Okay, so I've topped up the gearbox fluid. We'll stick a drain tray under it. I'm away for another week now, and then we'll see what drips into it. That's my 3D printed bonnet stay, which I'm rather pleased with. So, yeah, we'll tuck Roy away, and I'll come back in a week and see if anything has dripped into the tray. Right, the other thing I want to do, pull the plugs. Because we went for a good run yesterday with a reasonable bit of motorway in it. So I just want to see what they look like. Got this mysterious thing going on with the starter as well, where the pinion is clicking over, but it's not engaging. And that could be an earth problem. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Can you see that? That is perfect. That's a nice chocolate brown colour. Absolutely lovely. That tells us that jetting is right. Another nice brown one. I'm taking them out, keeping them in order because I just want to be able to see if there's any kind of anomaly, if anything looks odd. Oh. Bloody hell, Roy, why'd you have such a long engine, mate? Again, nice chocolate brown colour. Nice chocolate brown colour. Nice chocolate brown colour. They're absolutely lovely. Nice chocolate brown colour. Hopefully you can see those. Hope it comes out on camera okay. But they're all nice and brown on the ends, which is great. None of them have got oil on them. None of them are washed out like there's coolant going in the cylinders. That's good. I'm happy with that. If anything, it might just need the air corrector jets changing. As we've had to go up a size on all the others, it might be worth going up a size on the air corrector just to give it a bit more at the upper rev range. But yeah, that is good. It's almost like the engine's been rebuilt. Good, pleased with that. We can just do a quick dip of the oil, see what that looks like. Yep, spot on. Starting to colour up a bit now, is good. It's not leaking any oil at all. That sump, I'm really glad I painted that sump in silver because I could just look at it yesterday and go, yep, there is no oil leaking here. You could just see it. It was absolutely immaculate. So all that careful gasket work that I did when I put the engine together seems to have paid off. So, yeah, pleased about that. Okay, now we got this odd starter problem. Now, it is possible it's the earth to the engine. The trouble is, it's things like that are really difficult to find because they manifest themselves only when they're under load. So between negative and the block, 0.01 of an ohm. Well, 0. Below the tolerance of the meter. It is possible it's the casing of the starter. Oh, that's quite high. There's paint in the way there. Am I on there? No, 0.01 of an ohm. So it looks all right. It's another way of testing it, which is voltage drop. A voltage drop is quite complex to explain, but basically whenever there's a current flow, you get a difference in potential across anything that's providing a resistance. So if we put a little bit of wire on the same terminal that the starter switch is on, like that, that should let us trip the, there you go. So that lets us trip the starter motor. And while it's under load, we're losing 1/3 of a volt. That's interesting. So that went up to 300 millivolts then, that difference between the negative terminal of the battery and the negative terminal of the block. And that's because obviously there was a lot of stress being put on that connection. Let's remake the earth straps. This one down here I'm not mega happy with at all. It didn't look great when I put it in. Because it looks in the past like it's been stretched, because the jobby that goes into the bolt that goes into the chassis is only a self-tapper, and it's at a weird angle, like they at some stage tried to take the engine out and forgot about it. See, it's a self-tapper into the chassis. Let's see if we can get it a bit cleaner around there. See, trouble is some idiot's gone and painted the engine bay, so there's loads of paint round where that connects. Let's see if we can go and clean it up a bit. If doing this doesn't help, then it's starter out. But, you know, try the obvious first. That looks a bit better. We've got some bare metal around there now. The other reason I'm leaning towards earth is that this problem came on like instantly. It's not that the starter has been getting worse and worse, it just came on really bad all of a sudden a couple of days ago. This is the earth strap. Let's make sure our mating surface on the block is clean as well, because again some idiot painted the engine block. We can get these a bit brighter. Oh, that's better. I think I'll also get a couple of really big washers for that as well, to spread the load. With all things with electricity, it's always about surface area. It's about having the most contact you can get. Because the more surface area you've got, the less resistance you have. Hence why bigger cables take more voltage or more current. Right, and let's do the same thing with the battery strap as well. That missing 7mm socket that I couldn't find. Now we've got to do is find the missing 6mm socket. You see, when that stupid bloke put really multiple layers of thick paint all over this engine bay in an attempt to make it look beautiful. That was me, by the way. I am the stupid bloke. No, what I did make it look beautiful, and it did improve things, and it was a good idea. But of course, it's put a nice insulating layer of paint all over these earth points. And this has got a lot on it. There is a lot on that. Why this makes so much of a difference on 12 volt systems is because the voltage is low. That 12 volt has not got much push behind it, because it's the voltage that gives it its sort of push, its force, if you like. And when you haven't got much push, you can't overcome things like that. Now, to stop everything rusting where I've sanded it down, let's give a bit of a dollop of copper grease over the top of the whole lot. Keep the tin worm at bay. Amazing stuff, copper grease. Should never run a workshop without it, because it is just stunningly good at all sorts of things. Just in case you haven't watched all of the videos, this battery tray is not original. Like all battery trays, the other one was rotted to pieces. This one is just an aftermarket eBay job. And I just fitted it and used it. It works so well, and it looks good enough. I mean, it's not concourse. Obviously, we're not doing a concourse restoration. It's not original. The original one would have been clamped by a thing down the bottom, which actually makes it harder to take the battery on and off. Whereas this one is bolted down onto the same mountings as the original battery tray, and it does battery tray related activities brilliantly. Let's see if that's improved anything. Okay, so that's on the start up. Still about 300 milliohms. We'll just see if it improves things. Either be better or worse, or not at all, or yeah.